Mattias Ekströms otrais ar 94 punktiem, Höljes trešajā pozīcijā. Ļoti svarīgas cīņas šajā nedēļas nogalē, 2 posmi, 5. un 6. posms pēc kārtas pasaules čempionātā. Un lieliski iespēja skatītājiem vērot šīs sacītas klātienē. Šāda iespēja iespējams vienīgo reizi šajā sezonā. Protams, vēl nevar zināt, bet ļoti liels paldies jāsaka. Mums par šādu iespēju pirmām kārtām jau Rīgas domas atbalstam un Rīga par tādu iespēju vērot pasaules labākos un Eiropas labākos rallycross pilotus. Tīkla sponsors Neste sponsorīja Pavbēt un, protams, CSDD un Biķernieki trasē par šo brīnišķīgo rallycross trasi jau 5. gadu pēc kārtas šeit svinams pasaules rallycross festivālu, un šīs gads nav izņēmums. Jāsaka paldies arī par individuālu tehnisko atbalstu Ramirētam, Anitu, Intrak, Sixth online one for event, Energo Lux, FX Service, Sainte, Canon IV Service, Alfa SLS un Toy Latvija. Protams, liels paldies arī mēdījiem, kas nes šo visu kārtīgo šovu tautās. Vispirmām kārtām jau Latvijas televīzijai un visiem tiem, kas mājās palikuši, noteikti var vērot šīs sacīkstas klātienē pie televizora ekrāniem. Protams, paldies arī Delfī, GC4, Sportā avīzēs, Konto radio un radio tev. Par sākariem šeit mums darbniekiem rūpējas raciju eksperti Peldors, savukārt darba apģērbs no Freestarts. Oficiālais taksometrs Baltika taksī, oficiālais fanu veikals Sportland. Redz ļoti daudz fans un vizitējuši šeit jau tērpušies Neste World RX of Riga 2020 plānu atribūti, kā noteikti tāda iespēja būs 2 dienu garumā vēl savā īpašumā.
Well, hello, welcome back to Riga in Latvia, this amazing Biķernieki sports complex out in the forests just outside the city centre. This old track that has been repurposed as a brand new track for World Rallycross. Thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're watching from. And again, just to reiterate, if you missed qualifying 1, we do have some spectators here for the first time this season, which is great, but we know a lot of you watching at home would like to be here. So we miss you, but hopefully we'll bring you as much action as possible. So qualifying 2 for World Rallycross is about to get underway. Because don't forget, this is round 5, an entire round in one day. So 3 sessions of qualifying, then 2 semi-finals and a final. Round 5 will be decided today, and then round 6, and then will be decided tomorrow. Let's see if we can speak to the driver. If we go over here, no, it looks like Christian Szabo with his new blonde hair is going to be going. Let's see if we can grab a quick word with Gerlan Shishirit. See if he's open. So here's Gerlan. So, Gerlan, talk us through qualifying 1. What happened? Just tell us what happened in qualifying 1.
Yeah, we are still struggling with the problem we have in the cars. We have no traction, no grip, and we found the problem lately, but it was too short to fix it before Riga, so we know it's going to be another hard weekend for us, and hopefully start to getting better from Barcelona. So just try to don't get too upset this weekend.
Okay, well, bon courage, thanks mate. Okay, so that's Gerlan Shishirit. I couldn't quite hear what he said. Of course, it's tricky at the moment because he's got his helmet on. I can't hear what he said, but it sounds like he's very disappointed and a lot of work to do. The marshals are waving him forward. Let's have a look up at the lineup for race 1. Now, if you didn't watch Q1, we will show you some highlights earlier, but the spinner of doom, or the tombola of trepidation, whatever you want to call it, decided that it's, as normal, slowest first. So the people in this race were ones who had problems, like Anton Markland there. They fixed the front left broken drive shaft. Timo Scheider had a problem. I don't think we'll get a chance to have a word with Timo because he's already locked down, ready, eyes focused forward for the start line. Let's have a quick word with Christian Szabo. Christian, first of all, nice haircut. Second of all, where's the microphone? How was qualifying 1 for you, and what's the plan for Q2?
It felt quite good, but it was a little bit slow run. I think we ended up from P8 to P10. I was third. Plan for Q2 is to be a bit faster, to end up somewhere around P6, P4, P6. Just a clean run, I hoping.
Okay, good luck. Thank you very much. So the cars are lining up, so we can now bring you up to speed with what happened in qualifying 1 and then get the racing underway.
Here are the standings then after Q1. Johan Kristoffersson at the top of the table from Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen. Niklas Grönholm 4th, Ekström 5th, Larsen 6th, Doran in 7th place. Good start for him. Timozianov in 8th. And you got Bakkerud, Sabo, Nittis and Rennie Munich inside the top 12. The crowd are back in their seats. They've been off and grabbed a bite. That's the view from Tom's crane down at the start. Say there is not a cloud. Well, there is a cloud in the sky, but there are no threatening ones for the first time this year. We've had some proper wet weather this year, but I think we're going to get 2 dry days here in Riga. Q2 race 1. Let's get going. Jani Parssinen on the inside, then Rokas Baciuska, Anton Markland, and Timo Scheider. Scheider, of course, retired. Markland, we know, broke something in the transmission. They were frantically working on the car. Baciuska had the off up in turn 3. Can't remember what happened to Parssinen. Parssinen have a bad one, Dan? Just a slow race?
I mean, I can't remember either, to be honest.
A lot of racing.
I know Scheider had to retire.
Yeah, he was pulled over at the side of the road. Yeah, it was rather more obvious. Right. Ready to race, looking for the green. Great start, Parssinen on the inside. Scheider goes out really wide, trying to come all the way into the inside. Absolutely fantastic by Timo Scheider. Parssinen clips the inside, pulls a corner off the front right corner of the focus. Markland on a ghost flow there. Maybe had to get out of the throttle because of Parssinen. Smoke pouring off Parssonen's car. What about that start by Timo Scheider? That's exactly what Ekström and Larsen were trying to do from slot number 4.
That was big commitment there, wasn't it? A lot of trust that no one was going to pile it on his inside.
I liked it. That's big balls commitment, isn't it? Just go. no.
Yeah, definitely. And look at how much it's paid off. Look at the gap it's got already. 1.9 Bakkerud.
So Scheider, let's have a, where was he in the standings? I know he was outside. Yeah, he was DNF, wasn't he? So he was the absolute last. I mean, in terms of points, there's only 17 drivers, but he would now need 2 great results, wouldn't he, in Q2 and Q3 to be able to drag himself into the semi-finals. And if not, I mean, they'll treat it as extra testing, but that's not what Scheider wants. Scheider wants to be going flat out. And tell you what, he's on full send here in the Seat.
Yeah, really big push. 49.6.
Oh, inside of the commentary box, Parsons had a massive blow-up or something. There's smoke pouring from the rear of Parsons' car, so there could be oil all over the racing line. That is a huge one. Not seen one like that in ages. You can't even see through turn 1. Look at it pouring out the back of the car. Parsons driving straight over the grass and the tarmac to the middle of the circuit. Absolutely pouring from the back of the car. It's all over the start-finish straight. You literally can't see through the last corner. Not hopefully be clear by the time Scheider comes through. I think it will be. So here is Scheider. Now have a look down the right-hand side of your screen. You can see the smoke cloud was absolutely massive, and Scheider's just going to get enough visibility. But is there oil on the line? Timo Scheider into the first corner. Seemingly not. Dan, that's an interesting smell coming into the commentary box. Scheider going to burst out through the smoke. I quite like it.
Yeah, I mean...
very atmospheric.
Better than burnt toast, that, isn't it?
Yeah. No, absolutely fantastic. Scheider, look at that. Inputs into the car. He really is pushing here. I mean, he'll be enjoying himself. He's got a completely clear track. He's got to smash the laps in. 49.6, 49.3. Is it quick enough? What were they doing in Q1?
48.7 was our quickest lap.
Yeah, so needs to find another few tenths, but if he could, it's just got to be 2 solid runs right up there. Scheider's had a good start to the season. I'm hoping that continues for him. The Joker lap, you can see Baciuska with a big jump on the Joker. Markland coming around the outside of the McGann. Baciuska super close to the wall on the inside, but Markland just lights it up and goes all the way around the outside. Seemingly no oil. That was a huge blow-up though, Dan.
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, you could see that Scheider had a lap where he couldn't see half the circuit, but yeah, they can't really seem to see anything.
I mean, we could see it, we could smell it. I'm starting to taste it, to be honest, up here in the commentary. I don't know what it was. I mean, the fire crew are there. It didn't look like fire smoke to me.
No, it was quite white, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked expensive. Scheider going into the Joker lap now on his final lap. So the winning time of Q1 was Johan Kristoffersson, and that was a 3:23.699. Scheider needs to be right up close to that sort of time if he's going to be looking to drag himself into the semis. So crosses the line for a 3:26.3. That would have seen him in P7, sorry. So that would have seen Timo in P7 in Q1. So 2 of those might drag you into the top 12 if other people have issues. Parsonen was 14th. He's going to be behind Timo probably now. Will be definitely. Markland look with second, and Baciuska. Parsonen a DNF. Anton Markland was in 16th place, and that, again, that's a reasonable time. But these guys all needing good results basically to make it into the top 12. Parsonen with a rocket start on the inside line. Look at Scheider though on the outside, absolutely lit. Dan, he leans on that car from 4 lanes out across the start and just goes, I'm coming in hot.
Yeah, and he had no other choice really. He was on the outside, cars on his inside, just had to try and carry that momentum, didn't he?
Parsons with a rubbing tyre on the rear, that definitely isn't enough for that amount of smoke.
Could be the front end damage.
Guys in the truck, there it is, there was the blow up. Look at this, it's literally, I mean, it's like a smoke show, isn't it? That is an unreal amount of smoke from the back of the car. Scheider bursting through it.
Wonder if that gave him a flashback from a couple of years ago where he's on fire, Scheider.
Yeah, probably. Well, he's on fire there, taking the win.
Timo, you needed a good result, but it all started with an amazing move at the start.
Yeah, definitely. We know that from the outside you have to come somehow around the outside. So that was the plan. Luckily it worked out. After so many problems this morning, we had a technical issue in free practice, then we had the electric problem now in Q1, so yeah, at least it was something right now.
Well done, hope to see you do well in Q3.
Thank you.
Practice start in the background for Reinis Nittis. Good to see Nittis back on the grid here, especially at home in Latvia. So he had a test last week in Finland. They've made some improvements to the car from last year. Saw some brilliant results for it with Kevin Hansen last year. Rennie Munich will be pleased, I'm sure, to have seen the result for Scheider. Scheider very much the kind of driver, coach, mentor, isn't he, in that team with Mandy August and Rennie Munich. Assuming their driving styles are similar, Dan, he'll be passing back setups which they can use.
Yeah, I mean, especially now off the launch. Of course, he was one grid slot over, but he's got the settings now. He can relay back to the team, and they'll radio it through to Rennie. What RPM he had, how much grip there is, and well, also now whether he can see any oil on the track.
Q2 race 2 on the inside. Christian Sabo, and it's Reinis Nitish, Rennie Munich and Guan Shisharit. 10th through 13th. Munich has gone for new boots. Nitish has gone for 2 on the front. Very much a tyre game here in Riga. There's that fantastic high shot over the start. Marshals give the thumbs up. Shadows in sync. Look, very well practiced that, isn't it? Sabo will want to get away clean here. Currently in 10th place. Nitish will make it tricky for him on the run to the first corner, but it's a good start by Christian Sabo. He's a car length in front before he even gets to the braking point. So Sabo holds on, Nitish slots in. Shisharit trying to find a way around Rennie Munich, but can't. So Sabo now has got the similar situation to Scheider. What a lock up there from Nitish on the way into turn 3. Backs it in. Only misses the tyre wall on the inside by a small margin, so not too much of a lock-up.
No, not too bad. It was just enough to catch him out a little bit on the brakes, but it wasn't enough to send him wide, so lucky for him there not to make that mistake. But Szabo out in front, pulling a little bit of a gap. You can see the gap closed down as they Constantina up in the braking point, but he's had a good run. I just saw Topi Heikkinen pop his head around the corner of our commentary box, so I think he must be on the radio for Szabo.
Yeah, Topi very much a part of the GRX squad. You think you've got Topi there, you've got Jonny Weeman as well. You know, there's such a depth of drivers in there, but I'd love to see a few more of them with a budget to be out racing.
Yeah, 100%, especially Jonny Weeman as well after his performance last year.
Yeah, incredible, wasn't it? And if you added his points to Gronholm's points, they were champion, weren't they? Drivers champion. So, but that wasn't the way it went. And this year, they've definitely upped their game since the first round. It's so hard, isn't it? You've got to keep developing, and yet they came with new dampers, so did Peugeot, and really I don't think they had them dialed. And then suddenly by Finland, they go to their home event and get those epic results with Rutkanen right at the front on day 1, and then Gronholm taking the win under immense pressure on day 2. So we know they're there now, but of course now this is another type of track. This is a high grip track. This is more like Lohéac, and where we've been have been loose, low grip, proper gravel tracks. So you've got to dial it in again.
Yeah, but we've seen the Hyundai last year. It was a brilliant all-rounder car, wasn't it, compared to a lot of the others in the field. So we know even if this is not its strongest track, it's not going to be at too much of a disadvantage.
No, and I think as well a high grip track, you have more issues. Most people seem to have more issues, don't they, when on the low traction tracks. You go somewhere like here and it can mask some of those problems, definitely. Expecting more people to be in the mix for the pace this weekend. Shisharit and Munich in a little battle of their own. Munich's jokered already and he's right up behind Galan. I think he'd be hoping that he'll go joker. He does. That should see Munich out in front, I reckon.
I think Szabo's on a bit of a flyer here. 48.8 was his second lap. 49.2 then, but 48.8 matches Johan Kristoffersson from Q1.
So Szabo then on a big push. Here he is. Missed last time out, as we say. Rutkanen was in the car there. Szabo doing selected outings this year in the 3rd GRX Hyundai. This one GRX Set promotion. The team of Jussi Pinnamäki, the promoters last time in Finland, did such a good job to get that event away for us. So look at that, the way the car lands. You compare that to the way the De Borg's cars were landing in Euro, it just looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what that consistent development does to the cars. You can really dial in all those little bumps and niggles out of the suspension.
3:26.3 is the time of Timo Scheider, but a 3:23.6 was the time of Kristoffersson in the first session. Szabo's been pushing really hard. I think this is a quick one. 3:24.5, so that would have been P4 in Q1. So Sabo has gone very quickly there indeed. Was P10 at the start of this session, and I suspect that is going to move him up the leaderboard. Christian Sabo, 3:24.550. Then it's Munich, Nitish and Shisharit. Sabo goes to the top of the table. I say that time is impressive. Quick drivers still to come.
Brilliant start from Szabo, wasn't it? Just absolutely hooked it up off that pole position, and from there he had no trouble behind him. Everyone quite sensible through that first couple of corners. Again, it's still qualifying. You won't be seeing that in the semi-final, I'm sure, but...
I think that's an element of the double header thing as well, isn't it? That you don't want to take any risks.
Yeah, of course, if you write the car off today, you're out for tomorrow, and that's a whole round of a championship.
Yeah, you've gone, really. It's 60 points dropped instead of 30, and 30's too many. Brilliant run by Szabo. Top of the table as it stands.
Christian, that looked like a really good drive. Your quickest so far. How was it?
It was a good run. I made a couple of mistakes. I still don't find the rhythm of the track. So I go step by step. It was great to win a quali. Hopefully it's just up from now. Thank you.
Yes, he has completely changed his hair colour. We spoke to him in the draw yesterday. He says when he spoke to his barber, and his barber said it would definitely be a couple of tenths quicker. So I don't know. I think his barber's on the money.
Well, it's lighter, isn't it?
Yeah, very good, Dan. Very good. Think of the weight. Race 3. Q2, Robin Larsson, Liam Doran, Timur Timosyanov and Andreas Bakkerud. Now we're talking. 2 new boots on the left-hand side for Timur, so not straining those with an anti-clockwise circuit. That's another little tactic the teams use. Tight in the middle of the grid between Timosyanov and Liam Doran. To what you've got 4 drivers here who don't give a lot of space as a general rule. No, Bakkerud won't want to get into contact. He's spoken about that already. He'll be looking for a shine around the outside move. Good start on the outside for Bakkerud and Timosyanov, but Larsson equal on the inside too. A bit of contact between him and Liam Doran. Doran backs it in. Bakkerud backs out of it, goes up the inside, round the outside of his teammate, but can't hold on, going to go third. Timosyanov on the outside, looks to the inside of Bakkerud, going to try a move as he 3 wide on the braking zone. Everybody thinks better of it though, and Larsson with a whole shot out front. Andreas Bakkerud hassling his teammate Liam Doran. Again, look at the difference in driving style. Doran on the throttle early and sideways. Bakkerud really patient, waiting for the car to come to him. Different spec between these 2 cars. Over the jump, they're all squashing. You can hear the 2 Megans just crashing down slightly, but Larsson with the lead.
Yeah, Larsson had a bit of contact on the run into turn 1, didn't he? But managing to come out on top, and Andreas very much driving with his head on those first couple of corners, just keeping himself out of the trouble. Yeah,
no contact wanted. He said that he doesn't want to get into contact fights. He knows that the makeup of the Megane is different. Yes, lap times are great, but he doesn't want contact in the first couple of corners. He's gone Joker early. That's not a bad move with these guys, Dan. Yeah, they're all quick enough that it will take him a lap maybe to get to the back of the pack, maybe even longer, and that means he can focus on lap time.
Yeah, and it pulls them out of a battle with his teammate, which is going to slow them both down as well. So Monster Energy RS Cartel, GCK, splitting the tactics there. Whether they send Liam now or not, I'm sure they probably don't want to get them into too much of a fight with each other.
No, I guess not. And the thing is, Liam's championship is over. So although Liam will want the race position, so I would have gone maybe to cover Bakkerud off. But from a team point of view, thinking about it, they need Bakkerud to be getting the lap times in. Bakkerud versus Timosyanov for the merge. I think Bakkerud's got this already. Going to come around the outside. Tim's going to be there, but he'll be able to shut the door just about. The Russian can't quite get on the gas early enough. Timur was actually slightly hesitant on the throttle on the exit there.
Yeah, just a little bit. He wasn't quite sure where Bakkerud was going to be, was he? But yeah, once he'd seen him, was just gunning it.
Hooking in so close to that tyre barrier. Robin Larsson is banging in 48.8. That's a great lap time.
Same time as Szabo.
Yeah, couple of hundred shy of Szabo. You can see him reaching up, banging the car down a couple of gears into the hairpin. Patient and tidy. We know Larsen's got the ability to give it full send. Doran's waiting another lap, so Doran now has got over Bakkerud. What is Bakkerud's dropped back. Bakkerud's dropped back.
Yeah, so Timožánov's got in front of him.
So Andreas Bakkerud with a problem. That's a bit of a shocker, I'm afraid. It doesn't, well, we can't hear it from here. We've got cars howling past us in the commentary box. He comes past us now.
Looks fine through there. Well,
it doesn't sound sick, but Bakkerud has dropped off the back of Timožánov and is losing time to him. Can't see any punctures or any issues unless it's intermittent. Dan will have a look at the split times and see if he's able to do anything. I mean, it could have been an intermittent issue. No such problems for Larsen, who has put in a 49.0 as well. So Robin Larsen is trying really harder in the Audi. Liam Doran's done a good job as well. Come on, Liam. Oh no, a problem for Liam as well. Disaster again. Larsen through the long left-hander. Here comes Robin Larsen, aiming for Szabo's time, 3:24.5. It's super close. He's only 3/10 off and goes P2. Doran in the wall. What has happened to Liam's car? Bakkerud crosses the line at the back of the pack behind Timožánov. Liam literally there, looked like he turned right into the wall. So some sort of issue with the car again. All four wheels facing the same way. He's lost drive to the front, I think, Dan.
Yeah.
Another prop shaft?
Potentially.
You'd be livid, I think, personally.
Problem occurred on the run into the Joker, unless there's damage off the jump. Is that front wheel's turned in at the top, isn't it?
So as he lost, maybe he might have, it looks like damage to front left, everything's smoking there, so that could be broken parts around the brakes. Remember, inboard brakes on that car. Larsen with a 3:24.8 goes P2 in the session. Timožánov, Bakkerud, Doran. Oh dear. So Bakkerud and Doran dropping off the bottom of the timesheets again. Larsen and Timožánov with a good run. Hyundai look at the top of the table and in fourth as well.
Robin, there was a lot of activity behind you, but you had a very good race out on your own. Just getting his mask on. Robin, there was a lot of activity behind you, but you had a good race on your own.
It was nice to get a clean heat for once, so yeah, good heat, but we need to find some pace, so we'll see. Finally nice to get a clean heat and just drive 4 laps, and now we can try to work on the speed.
Thanks, Robin. Tack.
Larsen on the inside with a good start. Doran gives him a bit of a squeeze and then gets squeezed in between him and Timožánov. Timo then has to back out of it, ends up on the outside. Look here. Then they all had a look at the brakes here and nobody... well, look, Andreas is not going to do it to Liam, is he? Not there, because it's a bit dangerous.
No, and Andreas is already partly covering the inside line there, so he's got too much covered for Timožánov to make the lunge.
Good run by Larsen, but didn't seem over the moon, did he? He says now we have to work on the speed. So he's obviously feeling they need to dial it in a little bit. That was Bakkerud. Look, on the exit of the left-hander before the jump, the car just died. End of the race. Look at Liam here. Yeah, so it's collapsed at that point. Front left has collapsed, and that might be another issue after something else had broken. Fantastic day here in Riga as we come towards the end of Q2 for the World Rallycross Championship. Round 5. How have we had 5 rounds this quickly? It's mad. It's a bit of a whirlwind this year. We all know that. It's been a strange one. Yes, to the dump valve. Sorry, turbo wastegate, officially. But I need more of that. That's all good. I'm liking a look at Timmy and Kevin's roofs there. Let you see the names on. You don't get to see the top of the liveries very often. Oh, and look who slots into grid slot number 5 again, Mattias Ekström. Now, we've seen around the outside from slot 4. I have to say, that's going to be a tougher act to follow with these guys on his inside. What a lineup. final race of Q2. Johan Kristoffersson on pole, next to him Timmy Hansen. 3 World Championships between them. Kevin Hansen, the runner-up in last year's championship. Niklas Gronholm right up there all last year, and the winner last time out, Mattias Ekström, the 2016 World Rallycross champion. It's a heavy grid. 5 cars into turn 1. We've only seen 4 so far this session. These are the 5 fastest. No quarter will be given. You can hear the Polo on the inside winding itself up. Drivers 2 onto the limiters. Oh, great launch by Gronholm in slot number 4. Kristoffersson making up time on the run to the first corner. Kevin Hansen, Timmy Hansen giving each other a little bit of space. Gronholm's got Kristoffersson on the run to the first corner, and then Ekström, I think, has got both the Hansens. Gets in door to door with Timmy. Timmy's onside. And we've got tyre smoke from the back of Johan's car. He's had the bumper folded in sideways through turn 3. Gronholm out front. Ekström now applying a bit of pressure to Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson just a little bit of tyre smoke, not too much damage. I think Kevin's got in front of Timmy.
Yeah, and Niklas out in front has got a little bit of a gap already, hasn't he? That little bit of breathing space might just help him now, that pressure just being relieved. But Johan's got all the pressure now. He's the one with the big train behind him.
Fantastic to see these 5 guys in a fight together. Absolutely love it. Now we're going to see what the ultimate pace is. Kristoffersson, can he come up with a strategy to get himself out of this? Ekström's gone for the early joker and Timmy Hansen's gone with him. So Timmy's followed Ekström in. He'll know that that's effectively any chance of the win of the session gone, but he won't mind because it gets him out of the fight with his brother. And again, they need space. We spoke about with the RX Cartel guys. It's the same with the Hansen Motorsport guys.
Yeah, give each other that bit of space. Now they've both got clear track in front of them, and well, Timmy's following Ekström, but it's not like he's following a slouch, is it?
No, there are no slouches in this one. Absolutely not. Kristoffersson twice a winner this year. Ekström once, of course, in Sweden. Gronholm once in Finland. Kristoffersson not closing the gap down too much. Again, he doesn't really need to. He goes joker now. This might be to cover off Ekström behind. So watching Ekström come through the standard lap, Kristoffersson through the joker around the outside. Going to be behind Kevin Hansen, who hasn't jokered yet, but this is definitely about him and Ekström. Got Ekström covered. So Ekström is covered by Kristoffersson. Will Gronholm respond? So do you go joker now, or if you're feeling confident, do you just go to the final lap? I think he might go to the last lap.
I think he will as well. He's got Kevin Hansen as a little bit of a barrier there as well, hasn't he? He's got the gap of 3.5, which we think is going to be enough. You can see our joker predictor just popping up there. But yeah, I think Kristoffersson still runs the risk of catching up to Kevin Hansen as well.
You don't want to dump yourself into a merge, do you, with anyone, unless you absolutely have to. Unless he wants to cover off that run to the line on the last lap. If Kristoffersson made up a couple of tenths, he does go joker. Into the joker lap goes Niklas Gronholm. Fastest lap of the day, Timmy Hansen at the back of the pack. Gronholm trying to cover off Johan Kristoffersson behind. The gap was 3.4 as he went in. Kristoffersson will look to edge him. Is his exit hampered by Kevin Hansen? Kristoffersson on the gas, can't quite get near enough. Hooks a wheel up over the dirt on the outside. We go on to the final lap, and Kevin Hansen's going to get swallowed up by at least 2 of these. But at the minute, Gronholm in front of Kristoffersson. Good decision, I think, to go in the lap early.
Yeah, it was wise, wasn't it? But it was risky. He nearly got held up by Kevin.
Yeah, on the exit there. If you want to open that throttle up, don't you, early and be able to use the full width of the track, of course you have to defend from behind if somebody's coming through the merge. Kristoffersson hunting Gronholm now, but Gronholm's had this pressure in Finland. I reckon Gronholm will be thinking, I can take it.
Yeah, I think he is as well. It looked like Kristoffersson was going for the little nudge there on the back of Gronholm through the hairpin.
He got a few of those in Finland as well, didn't he? Kevin Hansen in the joker lap, Gronholm on the inside with Kristoffersson, about to switch outside. So Gronholm's going to take this watch for the merge at the back. Where's Kevin going to end up with Timmy? Timmy goes around the outside of his brother. Timmy's going to get P4, but Gronholm wins from Kristoffersson and Ekström. Gronholm's time of 3:24.3. It's just enough. 0.2 of a second faster than Christian Sabo. So all of the Kristoffersson goes where? Third? So Kristoffersson goes in third place. Brilliant drive. Now we're talking. Niklas Gronholm takes it from Kristoffersson, Ekström, Hansen and Hansen. And here's where they slot in. Niklas at the top of the table by 0.2 of a second from Christian Sabo. Kristoffersson is third, last and fourth. Ekström fifth. Timmy Hansen, Timo Scheider, Kevin Hansen. So Timozianov has dropped down the order a bit. He was up in fourth place and has gone a long way down from there. off the line. Bit of wheel spin on the inside. Timmy went backwards immediately. Him and Kevin are absolutely door to door, and Gronholm got a brilliant start, didn't he? And just shut the door on Johan. Yeah. Contact again in the background.
Yeah, but being in that further out grip position for Gronholm, it meant you can carry that little bit more speed into turn 1. So he was able to hang it around the outside. He didn't necessarily get the better start on Johan. They were pretty even coming into turn 1, but it was all about that extra speed he was able to carry on the run through.
Tidy drive by Kristoffersson and by Gronholm. Kristoffersson jokering earlier, wanting to try and get the overlap and wasn't sure he was close enough. It was tight at the merge. He applied the pressure right the way to the finish, but it's Gronholm who wins Q2.
Niklas, that's the quickest time in Q2. You must be happy.
I have no idea what you said, but but it was a good race. I had a good launch, and the driving wasn't too good, but it was enough. This is the thing when you get into the lead and the other guys start to battle behind you. You have a free track, so it makes it a lot easier. But good run.
Standings after Q2. What has that win for Niklas Gronholm done for him? He's in P2, so Johan Kristoffersson at the top of the table from Gronholm. There's only 2 points between them. They've got quite a lead over Timmy Hansen. Sabo up to 4th from 10th. Larsen, Ekström, Kevin Hansen, Janov remains in 8th. And then we've got Munich, Nitish, Bakkerud down to P11, Liam Doran to P12. So despite a bad session for them, but look how close the points are on the right-hand side from Nitish right the way down to Shisha. All to play for the final spots in the semi in the last qualifying session later today. Enjoyed that. Nice to see the quick guys in together in a proper fight. You know, not a punch up. It was a fair fight. I do enjoy a punch up as well, I've got to say. On track, I mean, you know. But great stuff from the last race of qualifying 2 here for World RX. We are moving on to Project E. This is round 2 of Project E. We had round 1 back in Sweden. Let's have a look at the grid. Sven Bjarte Holten on the pole. Yanis Baumanis, Natalie Barrett and Cyril Raymond. Cyril Raymond debuting the brand new Citroën C3 ERX, which is a joint venture between Stad, who've built all these cars, and Citroën Racing. So Citroën Racing on the grid on the outside. Car looks mega, doesn't it?
Looks really, really good.
It's based on the R5 car, kind of more of a WRC spec rear wing on the back of it. And we watched these guys in practice this morning. Everybody leaning on the cars just that little bit more. Ready to race on the right-hand side. Dry conditions, of course, lots of grip. Green light, amazing start. On the outside for Cyril Raymond. And also for Baumanis. It's Baumanis who gets the whole shot in towards turn 2. And lighting up on the run up to the next corner. This was where we saw this morning. Cyril Raymond just looked so confident in the C3 through this section here. Really leaning on the car.
Yeah, you can see it. He's able to put the weight kind of where he wants it, which is really good to see. We did struggle to see that a little bit in Sweden, of course. Sweden, a track where there's lots of crests and bumps, and with the unknown weight to everybody else, it's hard to control the car. But here, apart from the jumps, you know, it's reasonably flat, so they're able to really lean on the cars, and they look really good here. We were watching them in practice. I was so impressed.
I spoke to Cyril yesterday, and he said the car, you know, it's based on the R5 rally car. That's not a big secret. That's the point of the Project E kit. So you can take it and bolt it into any existing rally car, any existing rally cross car. So they've taken the R5 car, converted it into a Project E spec race car, and good to see a proper race. We didn't see many proper races in Sweden. We know it's a small grid, first year of this series. Listen to them leaning on the Cooper tyres as well. Down, you just see them backing in a little bit, and Dan, there's slightly more weight to the rear of the car than you expect with the supercar. Raymond is now piling the pressure onto Baumanis.
Yeah, really good race between these two. Of course, very experienced rallycross drivers.
Cyril squashing the jump there just a little bit before the crest. And I say, he said yesterday they're still running the car mainly on rally settings, and he said they needed to work a bit on that. He feels he's got the pace though, because he goes Joker, locks a wheel on the way, and he saw the dust fly up. Baumanis on the standard lap, up and over the curve. goes. Balmanis familiar with the chassis, of course.
Yeah, of course, he ran this with the normal induction engine in it, so he's going to be very aware of the chassis, the suspension, but the differing thing for him is obviously the powertrain and also the weight difference in the car, but he's going to be familiar with a lot of the characteristics of it.
Holton and Barrett having a decent fight as they come past us in the commentary position. Balmanis, though, pushing hard on this lap. Wonder if he's going to go in to cover off Raymond or if he'll wait until the end of the race. You can hear the howl of the transmission. Camera's much closer to the track here. Look at that sideways as well as he comes through the left-hander. The RPM in these cars just keeps on coming. There's the battle between Barrett and Holton at the rear. And the torque is there down the whole way. It's from super low down. Look at the cloud coming in over the circuit. Into the joke lap now goes Balmanis on the standard lap on the inside. Cyril Raymond through the right. I think Balmanis has put a decent lap in here. Cyril Raymond's going to look for a good exit. Got to keep trying it not too sideways. Smooth on the throttle from Balmanis. He's covered him off nicely.
Yeah, done a really good job there. Cyril not quite able to put the lap in. I do wonder if Balmanis is able to carry that a little bit more speed over the jumps, which would obviously give him an advantage in two different parts of the track. We've got two jumps over a lap here, but Cyril, he looks so composed on the run through this section. The weight of the car moving around really nicely under him.
Okay, now we're talking. Now I want to see 5 cars. You know, now it's super close. Look at this. Cyril Raymond can't quite find a way through. Dab on the left foot on the brake, up and over the crest. Early on the brakes. He's on the brakes several times as he feels what the grip levels are like. Balmanis just a couple of corners to go. Cyril looks in the mirrors. Feels the mirrors of Balmanis. He won't be able to miss the red from Citroën Sport. Both going to cut the curb on the right and then around to the left-hand side. Balmanis is going to take this, barring any mistakes in the final corner. They light it up sideways over the line. Tyre smoke from both of them. Crowd cheer for Yanis Balmanis. This is Holton versus Barrett for the end. Last positions. Oh, super sideways around the outside. And up towards the line. Natalie Barrett holds on. Good race between them two. Well done, Natalie. Natalie could leave here as championship leader because, of course, the two drivers she was up against from round one have not come here to Latvia. So Natalie Barrett, the British rally driver, might end up leaving here as championship leader. But that was great to see a decent fight between Yanis Balmanis and Cyril Raymond. The gap just 0.3 of a second. A Ford and a Citroën at the top of the standings for Project E. Natalie Barrett beating Svein Bjarte Holton to P4. Great start, wasn't it, by both Balmanis and Cyril Raymond. You wonder how much of that is just the rallycross mentality of understanding the start procedure from the lights point of view. I mean, Natalie's seen it, but she said herself she struggled with it a bit in Höljes, but these two guys know that completely. Yeah, and it could be that they're that little bit more disciplined as well with their right foot, because if they do just plant it, they're going to wheel spin. So we saw a lot of that in Höljes as well, didn't we? Just tyre smoke all the way down the front straight. Yeah, we didn't see any of it then, so it could be that they've just been able to get their head around how power transfers and everything work on the car. So good job by them, though. Waiting quite a long time there for them, weren't we? They weren't quite ready to come through the long left-hander there onto the start-finish straight. It was a good race. Balmanis with a win at home in Latvia.
Yanis, you're the first Latvian race winner today. How was the race?
Obviously, it was quite tough. At the start with the serial, we were quite even, I would say, and then I get on the radio that need to consistent ride, and even can see now that the brakes is a little bit hot. So yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. Even I think a little bit more stressful than normally with the supercars, as it's something new. And I hope the spectators like it, as I don't know, I need to watch how it looked from the outside, but from inside it was really hot.
And a quick word for all your fans in Latvian, please.
Jā, tad paldies visiem, kas šeit ir ieradusies šodien turat īkšķi pa mani un par Einu, un es ceru, ka vismaz kaut kāds šoviņš arī no elektromašīnas jums tiek un patiks, tā kā, nu, tā ir nākotne, tā kā, jā, ir vēl daudz lietas, kas jāizdara, un es domāju, ka mēs drīz varēsim apsteigt benzīndzinējus.
Okay, paldies, thank you.
Paldies.
Here are your standings after the first qualifying session of Project E. It's round 2 in Latvia. They've got a 4-round series this year. Yanis Balmanis leading from Cyril Raymond, Natalie Barrett and Svein Bjarte Holton. Of course, the winner last time was Ken Block. Herman Neubauer was in 3rd place in Sweden. So I say Natalie Barrett at the moment will be leaving here as the championship leader. They're due to race Latvia, Belgium and Germany. Look at the crowd having a great time. Say they don't have to wear masks here because their numbers are so low. You see a couple of people in the crowd have chosen to. We still have to. We're still under the FIA rules inside the paddock, but the crowd are not outside the paddock. I think they'll have enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that race from Project E. Great to see the Citroen on the grid, super close between Balmanis and Cyril Raymond, and also that last race from Q2 of the world drivers. Absolutely brilliant. Leave you with Neil.
So yeah, look, this is the last corner, and you can see how the tyre marks are developing as they drift around here. And some of them from the Project E cars, they really burn the tyres because it's just flat out on the gas. It's not even gas, is it? It's electricity. That's the point. So thank you very much for watching. So have a look at the bottom of the screen. It'll tell you when the next live stream is. And then of course we've got that's Q3 and Q2 for Euros. But then later we've got the semi-finals and the final of round 5 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship here in Riga in Latvia. As you can see, the marshals are leaving the track. I think they're going to get some lunch, so I might do the same. I suggest you do too if it's lunchtime where you are. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon.